Alright. Truth and love, everybody. It's Krista here. We're learning thyself, and I'm here to tell you things I'm learning about myself in hopes that it helps you along your journey. And this also includes messages. So, I have so many downloads coming through to me, and you won't see me making a video every single day or twice a day or 3 times a day, just because when I get a download, that shit's for me. That shit's for me first. Because the things that I'm telling about, and the things that I'm telling you guys, these are things that I'm learning for myself. These are the things that my mind, body, and spirit has to digest first in order for me to gain better understanding and better wisdom, so that I'm not just throwing bullshit at you guys. Okay, always making sure that it's not coming from a place of ego, that it's coming from a place of higher self. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you guys won't see me making a video every single day or twice a day. No. I need to chew my food first before I know how to cook it and make it and tell you if it's good or not. But if you have been doubting yourself, if you have been doubting your intuition, but it feels like your intuition is telling you something and you're scared to be wrong, what I would invite you to do is try it out. Okay? What that means is, this time, go with your intuition. If you have a bad feeling about somebody or some place or somewhere or whatever the case is, and you've always been that type of person to say, I don't know if I can trust myself, trust yourself this time. Because even if you're wrong, this is still a practice on how to trust yourself. This is still a practice on how to listen to your intuition, because it's really easy for your intuition to come through, but it's really easy for your ego self to come through. And I know for myself, at one point, I really didn't understand or know the difference. Like I kind of knew, but I didn't bank on it. The difference between my ego voice and the voice of my higher self. But when I get a feeling about something, and on top of getting the feeling, I'm also getting signs. Here's where my ego comes in. I really pay attention to what I'm about to say. I'll get a sign about not going to a certain place, or I'll get a feeling. I'll sit there and say, I don't know, I don't feel right. It's okay if you don't know what it is at that moment. You have to just kind of go with the feeling and trust that the knowing will come later if it's meant for you to know. And a lot of times it is meant for you to know, just because the universe will give you confirmation that your intuition was right. It'll never leave you hanging. You know what I'm saying? But if you're getting that feeling where, for an example, you go somewhere or you're about to go somewhere and something don't feel right, don't go. Give it a chance. But here's where the ego voice comes in. The ego will try to sit there and say, oh, but this is a nice establishment. Oh, but these are great people though. Look what they do for the community, or look what they do for the world, or they just donated this, and they do this and they do that. That's your ego self staying attached to what they see. But when your intuition, which is coming from inside of you, that is your God self speaking, you have to be able to go with that. Even if you are wrong or incorrect, you can't blame yourself for trying to navigate the voices that you have. You understand what I'm saying? If you keep doing the same thing every single time, which is make excuses for somebody, or you not necessarily somebody, but you make excuses for how you feel, because 9 times out of the 10 you probably weren't taught to listen to your intuition. And even if you were, then 9 times out of 10 you weren't taught how to do it. You don't know what that looks like. So you have to navigate that on your own. But if you're used to doing the same thing every single time, making excuses for how you feel, sitting there saying it's like you're trying to grab logical reasoning so that you can find a way to say, oh, I'm not crazy. You know what? You're gonna have to be crazy for a fucking moment, if that's what it is. You're gonna have to look crazy for a moment. You're gonna have to sound crazy for a moment. You're gonna have to feel crazy for a moment. Because most people's idea of crazy is actually the truth of God. They can sit there and say, oh, you need medication, oh, you need some help, or you need some therapy. But as soon as you trust your intuition and something goes down and you're not there when it happens, that's where divinity comes in. That's where you get your confirmation is, and you sit there and say, I knew it. Because how many times have you done that? How many times have you sat there and said, I knew it. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have came. I knew I shouldn't have trusted this person. I knew it. I knew it. How many times have you said that to yourself? I've caught myself saying that shit. All right. Another thing I want you guys to think about is, say you got a feeling about somebody in your circle. Say you got a feeling about somebody in your circle, something just don't seem right. You felt a major energy shift, or something just kind of hit you out of the blue. Think about a conversation you've had with them, because you'll sit there and say the same thing. Oh, well, they're a nice person, they do good things, and yada yada yada. Okay, maybe that's true. But let me tell you something. Gangsters go to church and parasites have pretty faces. Okay? Predators will tell you the most beautiful things you ever heard just to try to get to you. And so, no matter what level of danger you're feeling or off you're feeling, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about a conversation you've had with somebody or some people in your circle. And for every single time you recall a conversation and you say to yourself, something don't feel right, as in you choose to agree with them on something instead of having a strong stance. Say for an example, somebody says something to you in your circle and it don't sound right. It don't seem right. It don't sound right. And you still agree with it anyway. Instead of, like Alanya Van Sant would say, having a strong yes or a strong no. You choose not to hold your own. You choose not to be strong in your stance about something that you wholeheartedly believe in, and you choose to agree with them anyway. That's your intuition telling you right there that something ain't right. And so you don't necessarily have to go back and battle them, but you do have to go back inside of yourself and say, why did I do that? Why? Because I want them to agree with me, because I don't want to argue with somebody in my circle. I don't want to lose my friends. I don't want to lose my family. Just go back inside yourself and reevaluate and check that out. All right. 9 times out of the 10, when you're feeling your intuition, there's always going to be that one person in your ear saying, oh, pish posh. Oh, no, that's not true. They're going to try to make you feel like you're not crazy, because they don't choose to practice within themselves how to use intuition. Because these are the type of people that love drama. These are the type of people that want an extra bullshit story to tell, because they don't appreciate the story that they already have. oh man, you know, something told me this and I went anyway, yada yada yada, this happened and that happened. Those are the negative people. Those are the people that always want to drop weight on your shoulders. They always want to sit there and got some type of bullshit drama to go through, and they'll go a list of all the things that they went through as if shit can't get better for them. They'll sit there and say, oh, I can't catch a break. Shit like that. Don't listen to these people. You have to learn to listen to yourself, because one day it's really going to save your life or save another person's life. Okay? You don't have to you don't have to go out and sit there and say, oh well, no, don't go here and don't go there. I mean, if your intuition is that high and you feel it in yourself to warn somebody about something, that's one thing. But if you're in that place where you are scared to trust who you are and scared to trust your intuition, you have to go inside and practice that and ask yourself why you're scared to trust yourself. All right. I'm gonna be having some more videos. I got quite a bit of downloads today. I'll probably drop another one today because it's actually a lot. It's been simmering since yesterday, so we'll see what happens, but peace and love.